Well, I've just finished a fantastic little bike ride in my local hills. Here it is, and I hope you enjoy it. And it's all about supporting each other. We're all cyclists, we're in it together.
But before we start this ride, let's have a look at where we're based in the United Kingdom, and as you can see there on the map, we're in the northwest. And today's ride takes us from Lancashire across the border into West Yorkshire, covering 33 miles or 53 kilometres, with an elevation gain of 2,458 feet or 750 metres. The wind was going to be a factor, and there was 4 key features of the ride today, the first being the climb of Blackstone Edge, with an elevation gain of 791 feet, covering 2.85 miles. And this is an extremely tough, challenging climb. And the second part of the ride, and to me is pretty scary, is the descent from the top of Blackstone Edge all the way to Sowerby Bridge, which is 7.2 miles of basically downhill riding, where you drop nearly 1,000 feet in elevation. Again, this can be very fast, and you need to have your wits about you when you're going down here at some speed. And eventually we come to the climb of the day, which is called Tuel Lane, and we'll come to that later on. And the fourth feature that I've highlighted in blue there takes us above the Calderdale Valley and the climb of Shorewood Road through Lumbots and Manky Knolls, and this is like stepping back in time. But let's get back to the ride.
I'm a cyclist and I live in the Pennines, and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going for a ride up Blackstone Edge and around all these lovely hills into West Yorkshire. Now this is a challenging climb, a tough climb, it's right in your face. I can see it over there, I've got a long way to go. And can I tell you one thing, if you see anybody out there doing it, offer them some encouragement. Number one, you've got to say to all the cyclists, go on, keep going. Doesn't matter if you're a mountain biker, if you're male or female, we're all in it together. So let's encourage everybody to get up these bloody big hills. Looking over my shoulder now, there's a couple of mountain bikers coming up. Right here. Keep going! Not yet. You've got a tailwind, you'll be alright. Doing alright. A long way to go, but you will get there. There's a few more coming now. Later on maybe. Keep going. I'll catch you later on up there. See you in a bit. That's fantastic. That's what it's all about. I mean, I look like I've got all the gear on. Them guys, they're not wearing lycra like I am. They're having a great time. It's a leveller. We're all in this together, all of us. Getting out, break the lockdown, get some exercise, some fresh air, bit of freedom. And I'm judging nobody who climbs up here today, because anybody who gets up there deserves the praise and they deserve the credit when they get to the top. I'll catch you later, people. Let's go for a ride. You alright? Keep going, pal. Keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Have a bit of fun then, having the banter. I'm sure one of them said I'm on an e-bike, but no, today I'm on the good old faithful Rally Rodinio 3, fully loaded with Jura Ace throughout. It's a really nice lightweight bike, and I like the colour too. Right, well that's the summit now, Blackstone Edge with the White House pub behind me. I just rode up with some of them Asian lads there and they're really keen on. And they're going to take the trail to my left across the Studley Pike. But before we do this descent, I've just stopped off because there's the Turvian Road. That's the longest continual climb or descent in England. We're going that way today. So anyway, with this tailwind, it could be scary fast down here today. I'm going to drop down towards Ripponden. Okay, there's the sign for welcome to Calderdale. We're about to drop off this plateaued summit and follow the pylon run all the way down. Let these cars come by. I think we're clear behind for the time being. On the drops now. I've got to watch the side winds if anything. That's 35 miles an hour. 38 miles an hour. Slight left-hander. 40 miles an hour. 41, 42. Freewheeling. 43. 44. 45. 47. Cut inside. Still 47. Back on line. Woohoo! A bit bumpy. 46 miles an hour. Right left-hander. Still 46. Watch the line here. Up the inside. That's nice. Still 45. Chicane. Hey, don't get over, you idiot. Well, that was a really nice descent down there. On this gearing setup, you really do get to top end speed pretty quickly. You got to tuck in then. So I've stopped off here at the Blue Ball Lane. Now, I have done video cycling around the Blue Ball lanes, and also on that side you've got the turnpike lanes, and you can just see it over there going to that side of the hill. So these are all my local training rides. All the local guys use these back lanes. They're fantastic. You go down there though, it can get a bit dirty with all the cow and sheep muck and all that kind of stuff from the farm traffic. But we'll carry on now, head our way down towards Ripponden, and then I think we'll get towards Sowerby Bridge and do the Tuel lane climb. And that's a nice little sharp, steep little bugger, to be honest.
So here we are now on the A58 on the descent into Ripponden, and listen to them tyres on the tarmac. What a fantastic sound. We're cruising at around 35 to 37 miles per hour, and I am very mindful it's quick, and you've got cars on the right and we've got side streets both on the left and the right. Got a car coming up the hill there. They're on my side of the road because there's not enough room, and we've already reached the traffic that's waiting at the lights ahead.
Okay, you're joining me now, live on the road, on the approach to Sowerby Bridge. There's my signpost there for Sowerby Bridge. We're cruising at 28 miles an hour. I've got a car on the left. Still keeping the pace, 28 miles an hour. It's slightly downhill with a nice favourable wind. Petrol station on the right, park cars on the left, so I can keep in the middle of the road because I'm going at the legal speed limit more or less. Left-hander, and then we'll start to see Sowerby Bridge and the railway arches. There's the train going over just in the distance. The speed will start to pick up now, only slightly, and it's getting built up. I've got a car on the left about to pull out. He's pulled out there. That was quite safe. We're doing 28 miles an hour still, and now this becomes a 20 mile an hour zone, and we've got cars. Keep clear, go on, thank you. And I'm in the wrong gear now completely. So there you go. So this is Sowerby Bridge. I'm going over the River Calder. And again, this is a bustling little town, and it's great for a good pub crawl. Lots of good bars around here and good cafes. But there's one reason why we're here, and it's to do Tuel lanes. Come on, let's do it.
But before we take on this climb, let's have a look at it in more detail. So where is it? Well, it's a climb from Sowerby Bridge, and it links the A58 and the A646. And for those of you who like the road numbers, it's the A6139. And at 0.45 miles in length, it's not actually a long climb. And it has an elevation gain of 240 feet, but it actually feels pretty steep when you're cycling up it. It's got an average gradient of 10% and a maximum gradient of 12.4%. And to get a KOM up here, you've got to be under 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and to get into the top 10, you need to be racing up here in under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's basically a nice little short lung buster. So here we are now, underway, and it just starts off as quite a gentle little climb. There's not much of a gradient, but as you can see there towards the high-rise flats, it does start to ramp up. And one thing that I did notice was, it was really busy. There's a lot of traffic coming down this road, up this road, and in places there's not much room. As you can see there, we're getting some gradient now, and it's good to keep it in a nice gear, keep the rhythm. And here, as you can see, I am standing up. We're approaching one of the steeper sections of the climb. There's a nice right hand bend here. Get round this, and then it's straight up all the way to the 646. You can see here I'm close to the parked cars. There's not much room there with the cars coming through, although the camera angle makes it look pretty tight. There was enough room for me. But it is a punchy climb, and it still keeps going up. And the summit's not too far from here now. You can see I'm out of the saddle again. There's the main A646, and we're going to take a left and head towards Mythenroyd and Hebden Bridge. And that's it, that's the climb basically done.
Well, that is a super little tough climb out of Sowerby Bridge there. Tuel lane. If ever you're around these parts, Pennines that way, the 646, Halifax that way, Tuel lane. It's a nice one, that little peach.
As having passed through London and Foot, we're on the outskirts of Mythenroyd here, and that white building used to be called the Grove Inn, and it had its own brewery.
Well, we're about 16.5 miles into the ride now, and having passed through London and Foot and into Mythenroyd, I thought I'd stop off just in the Cragvale Road on the bottom side and have a look at the River Calder. And last time I was here, it was pumping. Let's have a look. remember looking through this window and the river was about another 12 foot higher. But we've got a ride to do, so come on, let's crack on.
And so as we make our way down the valley, let's have a recap at how the ride's gone so far. You can see there in green, we've done the climb of Blackstone Edge. In purple, the fantastic descent all the way to Sowerby Bridge. And in yellow there, we've just gone up Tuel Lane. And the next stop will be the climb of Shorewood Road and over towards Lumbutts and Mankinholes. And if you're wondering where we are on the map, well, we're right here. That's about the halfway point.
There's always lights down the valley somewhere, always. So let's make our way through Hebden Bridge. Always seems to be riding through here these days. Past the Old Gate pub. Oh, some nice smell of food around here. And I think we've got pedestrians at the zebra crossing. No, we've not. So it'll be a headwind back down the valley. And I think we might go to Lumbutts and Mankinholes and take on that climb of Shorewood Road. And so here I am now, going down the valley from Hebden Bridge towards Hebden. I like to spin, not super quick, but I'd always recommend with a headwind, don't try and fight it. You'll just use loads of energy to go slower. So it's not too bad, the headwind. I've got it down here at about 15 and 16 miles per hour. Just conserves your energy and keep the legs going around 79, 80 cadence. If you can get up to 90, you'll know about it. But after you get used to it, it's quite an efficient way of pedalling. A lot of the pros do it, Chris Froome in particular. So, I'm 21.5 miles into my ride, and I'm going to take a left, take on the Shorewood Road climb.
And on the way up this climb, I came across a mountain biker who was pushing his bike up the hill. I did ask the mountain biker if he needed any help or assistance, but he was okay. He'd had a puncture, he was riding tubeless tyres, and it wasn't far for him to get home. And again, the cycling community is all about helping each other out. And can I just add one more really important point here? I'm a road biker and I ride a mountain bike, and I still think that if a mountain biker needs some help as a road biker, I'll always offer some assistance. And that's the great thing about cycling. We're on two wheels, no matter what the discipline. And that's the bit that I love to recognise all the time.
Well, we're just going through that picturesque little hamlet of Mankinholes. I love it round here. I mean, I grew up round here as a kid, and you can't beat it. It's like stepping back in time. It's just tranquil. I've got a Studley pike up there, and we've got the lambs are in the field now. Definitely spring. We've got daffodils out. You can't beat it, can you?
And I really do mean it. Cycling around here is absolutely fantastic, and it's on my doorstep. But anyway, we're coming down Lumbutts Road here at about 31-32 miles per hour, taking on a right and a left-hander. We've got a farm on the right there, and another right-hander. You've got to be mindful of the bus that comes up here, and cars that go to the pubs. But with the pubs being closed at the moment, the road is pretty quiet. We're still carrying some nice pace. I do know the road pretty well, so I know what lines to take. Got that van there just coming through, and a really big left-hander now. You've got to feather the brakes and tuck right into the wall there. Just getting round the bend, another right-hander. Try and pop your head above the wall, and then it just gets built up here. You've got cars and terraced houses as we drop down. You can see it's quite uneven. I'm working my arms there to give myself some suspension. I'm tucked in. And we come to the bottom where you've got two fork junctions. And that's a nice little descent to round this ride off. And so the only thing to do now was to get back home safely. And here we are, just cycling past the famous Gordon Riggs Garden Centre. And then that building in the background used to be called the Bird in Hand. And by now, the light was starting to fade, and this had turned out to be a cracking little local ride. And there wasn't too far to go. But if you like these videos, let me know, and I'll make some more for you. And thank you for watching.
Yes. Yeah, get around the outside. Oh, thank you. What? Yeah. Sorry, yeah. 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 Oh, God. Oh, gold, yeah. There's no gold here.
Inflatable canoes and yeah, I'm a keen cyclist.
Are you?
Yeah. And he lives with Danny McGaskill.
All these goals around there, don't they?
Yeah. He's a Scottish lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's good.
And if you look over my shoulder now, see that red telephone box? We're going to come flying down here in a moment, around 30 miles an hour, maybe 35 miles an hour, and this little bend here is quite big at them speeds.